Okay, so let's continue with the looking at the scanner class. Okay. So scanner class, one thing was it implements a iterator of string. And basic idea about a scanner is it is for getting tokens. Okay, right? It's for fetching tokens from some kind of character inputs. Okay, so you have a sequence of characters which is coming in, and the source for these characters could be anything. Okay, right? For the source of a character, as far as Java is concerned, one option is to use an input stream. But anyway, an input stream is not about characters; it is more about bytes. Okay. So I was trying to show here. So it's like this. We have what the scanner needs is characters. Okay. But your source, which is suppose if it's an input stream, this let's say is an input stream. Fine. So if you use an instance of an input stream will only have bytes. Okay, those bytes needs to be converted into character type. And how do we convert them into characters? And they cannot straight away be converted just as it is. One byte just, oh, it's a 8-bit value and let me make it 16-bit value, it will become character of the Java class. No, it's not that way. Okay, because whenever we have an input which is coming, whenever we have any byte which is coming to us, and if it is a text which we are aware that this byte contains a text, then what we also need to know is what is the character set being used. Okay, this byte has to be interpreted according to a particular character set for it to be converted into a character. Okay, so if you look at the constructors for scanner class, you will come across constructors where input stream as well as a character set both are taken as a parameter. So the constructors are like this. If you want to know the constructors here, okay, we have a constructor which says, okay, so let me put it here. So yeah, this is one where, okay, so constructor for scanner, you can say, okay, so you can have this as well as a char set object. Okay, what is the character set? Fine. And another one where we can say, okay, you can give a character set not in the form of the class called char set, but in the form of a string also. So you could have just given a character set. So when you don't specify, when the constructor is used with only the input stream, in this case it uses the default character set of the system. So system has a default character set according to which the bytes have to be converted into characters. When we understand there are various character sets, right? When we use the char type in Java, it's about character sets. Okay. String is nothing but a sequence of characters. Okay. Fine. So scanner can be created. What scanner needs is some source from where characters will be available. So, and so input stream can also be considered as a source. Okay. Scanner can also be created from, what are the sources for characters? It can also be created from a string. That's a source. Okay, it's simple. You can just create a scanner from some kind of a string. So what is the purpose of scanner? Okay, so there are other constructors. I have not listed all the constructors here, but basic thing is, yes, it needs some source input stream. Why I have shown the input stream? Because that's what is most commonly used. Most commonly what we use, how we use a scanner, or we would use a scanner to read from the standard input. So most common usage is like this, equal to new scanner, and then we'll say, oh, we would like to read from the standard input. System.in. Okay, read from the standard input. So normally this is from the keyboard. And by default, standard input is your keyboard. Okay. So this is how you read from keyboard. But one thing, it's not about reading as much as about using some source of character. It needs a source of character, and that source of character could be the characters keyed in from a keyboard, or someone has created a string by specifying the scanner by specifying the string itself. Okay. So so yeah. Now looking at the methods. Okay. Yeah. You know something about scanner already. Scanner implements iterator of string. So you know the methods. Some methods at least. Yes. What are the methods? Yeah. It has the method returns boolean. Method name has next. Okay. And a method to it's a iterator of string, therefore a method called next which returns the string. So if I have a okay, I think we can also simultaneously also have a look at the JSON, right? Let's try some. So let's try something on the JSON.
This scanner can also work with the streams that we were doing before.
Yeah, it can work with the string. But fine, but let's try without the string. Okay. So for example, let's create a scanner. See, okay, let me create this as scanner 1. So this is the one which is most commonly used. People will just do like this. Okay, system.in, and I want to create a scanner. So that you are saying, okay, you want the characters, they'll take them from the keyboard. It's just like saying take them from the keyboard. Okay. So this SC1 can be used for reading from the keyboard. But let me create another scanner where I am giving the source directly. I think, okay, that's a string to be used. Okay, let's say something like this. Okay. See, it is showing something to you here. The toString method, what does it show? Delimiters. It's saying delimiters. What is a delimiter? A white space. Right? So white space is used as a delimiter to give out tokens from the source characters. It is just about taking out tokens from a source of characters. Okay, but when I take out a token, how do I determine the token? For that, we use a delimiter. The delimiter is white spaces. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah. There are a couple of more settings in the scanner, and we'll look at how the settings can be changed. There are 3 settings which are managed in a scanner. So one thing which is managed is the delimiter. And you can see the default delimiter when you create a scanner is going to be white spaces. Okay. Fine. Now we can do something like this. SC. Oh, what are the methods we have? SC2 dot next would give me a string. Okay, I can say SC2 dot has next. It says true. Yeah. It has next open. Yeah. And if I say SC2 dot next, that should give me the. So I can assign it to a string. You know what it's doing, right? Using the white space as the delimiter. Okay, but instead of white space, I want to change the delimiter. So sc2 dot use delimiter, and I can specify a delimiter. So delimiter could be, yeah. What's the delimiter we want?
You can do comma if you want.
Okay. Okay. In our string we don't have a comma, but let me say let me make it t. The character t itself.
T.
Okay.
T means the letter T or have.
The
Right?
letter t. Letter t.
Letter T. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Okay. I'm not changing has next. Let's see this. Next. Okay. See, we changed the delimiter while it was in use. So now onwards, it has changed the delimiter. Before this, it has already scanned and taken out 2 tokens earlier. So this is was already consumed. Okay.
So it's taken over from the last position. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, so except for t, everything will be. So wherever t is there, that's my delimiter. Okay. So capital S and then okay, ring space. Next letter and HUT to be used. Right? So without t, right? It's a t. So one thing is that we have a method called use delimiter, and you also have a method called. So let me use the methods or delimiters. I'm not sure it's that. So what's a delimiter? You can see that. Let's see the delimiter for SC1. So this see what the return type for the method delimiter is the object of the type pattern. So pattern is a class which represents a regular expression. And what you pass as parameter when we say use delimiter is a regular expression. Okay, I'll put the methods now. Okay, so let's put the methods. Okay, so these 2 methods we know. There is a third method because it's a iterator. What's the third method of iterator? Okay, and this one throws unsupported. Something like this. I'm not sure of the exact method name, but that this operation is not supported. So this is something which these are the 3 methods it has, but this third method will always throw an exception. Okay, there's no remove which is allowed here. You only get. Okay, next token. So next is about fetching the next token. As next is okay. Do we have the next token or not? Okay. Other things which we just observed was we have a method called returns. Okay. We don't have a method returns void here. We have the method returning the scanner object itself. So we can do chaining of methods. Okay, chaining and invocation chaining can be done. You can invoke one method and then another method on that. And follow it. So it returns the same object instead of returning a void. Name of the method is use the. Okay. And what do we pass as parameter? It can be a string, that's what we had done, okay, which is a regular expression, or it could be the object of, so this is overloaded, so regular expression may be given as a string or as an object of the pattern class. So a pattern object is nothing but a regular expression. It's a combined form of the regular expression. Okay. We'll be looking at pattern also, but yes, so that's one thing. That's for changing the delimiter. And whatever is the current delimiter, that will be available as an object of the pattern class. So method called delimiter returns the delimiter as a pattern. Okay. So one setting we have seen in a scanner, which is about the pattern. Okay. Yeah. So any point of time you can change the delimiter. It's from that point onwards, the next tokens which you get will be according to the new setting. Right? So these are settings. So one of setting is the delimiter setting. Another setting, okay, but before that we should know more methods to use the other settings. Okay. So if you want, we can also use the method called uh, okay. You know the method next returns a string. Right? The method next is returning just the next token for us. Okay. Now suppose my input is like this. Let's say. Okay. So let's create some input here and let's use sc1. So if I say sc1 dot next, okay, and so that should wait for input from the keyboard. Okay, we know this now. Right? And it returns that whatever is taken as input. Okay, we call sc1 dot next again. Yeah. Okay, it's giving this as a string, right? It's a number though. Though it's a number, right? So what would I have to do? I have to say parsing on this string to get it converted into a. We understand it's returning a string. Next method returns a string. Okay. So no, because I'm sure this is a number, right? Oh, so it's an int value for me. So I can use a method called sc1 dot next, something like this. Okay. So the return type should change now. Okay. The return type here is a int. So it's not only about, see another thing here, what if I do a next int or, okay, yeah, I have to use sc2 also, sc2 dot has next int. We have this method called has next int. It says no, it doesn't have an int. The next token is not an int. So if you use the next method, it's not convertible to an int in sc2. This is in sc2. SC1 is standard input, there's no input which we have provided, so we can't be using the has next kind of a method before we give the input. Fine. So one method like this has next int. Okay. So this checking could be done before doing the sc1 dot next int. Suppose someone says sc1 dot next int but does not give something which is an int type. You get an exception. Okay. So has next int should be done before we use the next int. Yeah. So like the has next method, it will check whether next token is there or not. Do we have still do we have more tokens? Okay, fine. If that token is an int type, can it be converted to an int or not? So has next int. Okay, fine. Next int, straight away we give it as an int type. Okay. Now what about an input which is like this? sc1 dot. Okay, let me now have sc1, uh, sc3 scanner. Let's create a scanner again. Equals scanner. Okay, we would like to use comma again.
Like for comma separated variables. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we have a string like this now. I'm going to use a decimal. So we have values like this. Right? So this is the input string, and we are going for sc3 dot has next int. Maybe I just want to make one more thing in that. Let me change the string and let me add another string. I'll I'll put it much earlier than this. Maybe I'll put it here and I'll say, let's see, hexadecimal. Okay. So we have some hexadecimal things inside this. But my default delimiter is white space. So what should I be doing? And my delimiter says comma. Okay. Change the delimiter to a comma. Then let's go for has next int now. Okay. SC3 dot has next int. Yes. Okay. Fine. We go for the next int, and that should return SC3. So SC3 dot next int. Okay. I can ask for the second token here. Okay. Okay. Now the third one is F0. You remember this, right? Third one is F0. Okay. So if I say has next int, what should I do?
False.
What should be done?
Has next hex.
No, not hex. It is an int value, right? It's a numeric value. I would like to use it as a numeric value. Only thing the radix is different.
Radix.
Okay.
Yes.
So another setting is the radix setting.
Okay.
And use radix. See, before I say use radix, I might just ask what's the radix. So we have a method called to know what is the radix. Radix by default is 10. And you can always change it. Then say use this radix. Okay, so that returns the scanner object, use radix, and on that I am saying has next. Yeah, that's good. It has changed the radix settings to 16. You can see the radix now. Okay. And now you can go for next int. SC3
Yes.
next int. F0 is 240. Okay, right? So
F0 तो आया ही नहीं कहीं पे भी.
it is not F0. It is actually 240. As a hexadecimal
Oh, the
number,
value. Okay.
F0 is hexadecimal. So 240 is stored as a decimal type. So you can convert it into hex type.
Next thing will always return in.
You want to see F0? You can see like this. Integer dot to hex string. But then I should
Now
have
I
gone
can
now. Okay.
No,
So it was 240. I am not good. Okay. Fine, because we have already moved forward, so that has been already consumed.
Okay.
Okay, there's a spelling mistake here.
Hexa. Okay.
And so you can see it was F0, 240 is F0. Right, so clear what the method is, right? So there is another setting called radix. Okay, another thing, this I won't be able to show it on a Windows platform. So I'll just be, what I'll do here is I'll just say, okay. Okay. Suppose the input which is coming, we understand F0, right? That hexadecimal thing. What about a value like this? I have a string. Right? My string looks like this. You understand what is this? 4, I think, do we write 4 like this? Yeah, 2, 4. It's 2, 4, but the characters are not from the ASCII, or they are according, they are according to the locale, which is Hindi locale, or maybe even Gujarati it looks same, right? It's Gujarati locale, right? So my locale is Gujarati, right? So we do have a method where I can say the input which is coming is according to a particular locale. So we have a default locale setting, and we can change that. Okay. And so you can be reading text, you can be taking input which is in your language, right? In your own language, and then you could be using, so in the scanner class, we have another third setting. So 3 settings in the scanner. Delimiters, second is radix, and the third one, okay, so you can use sc3 dot use delimiter, use locale.
Okay.
Okay. And create an object of locale, new locale, and locale for maybe Gujarati. GU is for Gujarati. Right? And then that kind of input can always be taken. Does it show somewhere that the locale setting is not shown in the toString model? It seems. Anyway. Okay, so the idea is, yes, we have this method called useLocale and sc3 dot locale. That should return the object of locale, and that's in Gujarati. But if I say sc1 dot locale, that's giving me English in India. Okay, because that's a default from the machine. Okay, so the default locale setting is there, and you can always change the locale. Okay, so things can work according to the specified locale. So there is a locale, 3 settings on a object of scanner, according to which the next token is parsed. So it's about parsing the token. It's doing the parsing of tokens. That's the main purpose of scanning. It's not about reading from the keyboard. Okay. And yes, that's a very common usage of scanner. Okay. So scanner is not about that. Scanner is actually about giving you tokens. And there are 3 settings in this scanner.
It's a parser basically.
Basically, it's a parser, giving out tokens. So the main method here is the next method. So the idea here is to fetch, so source of characters is that there are 3 settings in this, and we know the 3 settings, fine. And we have the next method to fetch the tokens from this. So idea is to fetch tokens from this scanner object. Okay, and I think they have a method here to give it to you as a stream of string now. Okay, you can just say, I think we have this method called tokens. Okay, so this was added, I think after 8 or some 8 onward something. So that can return a stream of string. Okay, we'll check in the API. So that's something which is right. So we have a stream of string where it gives us the tokens, and one by one. So, but it will be only as a string and not converting into int or any such things. Okay, fine. There are regular expressions, so we have many other more methods. We have methods on these two, fine, based on these two things. Okay, so if I have to, we have a pair of methods basically for each of them. type of things. So has next int and the method part. Next int. You can also use the next int method, or even both of these methods are further overloaded so that you can ask for it individual. When you are invoking the method, that time itself you can ask for a radix value. You can specify the radix here according to this radix. So next int as well as the has next int both can take a radix as a parameter. So you're not changing the radix on the, you're not changing the setting, but for this particular invocation, let me check. Right? So you can, okay. So this does not change the setting of these. These are all just nothing but only for the invocation. Temporarily change the radix and give me the result as a int.
Doesn't change the scanner.
Scanner's setting is not affected. Okay. So see these things. Now I have shown for int, but exactly this thing would work for. So all this would work for instead of int. You can okay. Okay. In the above methods, what? Other than int, right? Other than int, okay. Byte, short, long, and big decimal. Not big decimal, big integer. Sorry. Okay, where we have whole numbers. These are all whole numbers. Where the radix is allowed. Okay, fine. Other than radix, okay. The first two methods, this version. So if I look at this version, where the radix is not, so you don't ask for radix when asking for, is it having a float type, or sorry, has next float, and the method like next float. Fine. So here it's not overloaded further to use radix. You don't use radix, it's only going to work for decimal type. Okay. And has next float, has next, what could it be? Same way, has next.
Byte, short, and long.
Okay, that we have already covered, right? Byte, short, integer, long. Okay, float, the floating point types are not covered there. Okay, so you have double. Now exactly same thing. Okay, I'm just putting the one more type. I'll just list it. Okay. Big decimal.
Sorry, big integer capture over, I mean, did you, I forgot to discuss your
It's in the
how much is the range?
Yeah. Okay. Big integer. Okay. Here, big integer is from java.math package.
Okay.
So any size.
So it is not a
So it's not restricted. Number of digits could be 200, 500, whatever the number of digits you want. So no limit to the number of digits. Okay. So same thing. A big decimal is on the same lines. Fine.
It is not a primitive type.
No, it's not the primitive. It's a class, name of a class, java.math package.
Yeah.
Big integer, big
Okay.
decimal.
Wrapper class. Okay.
Not wrapper. Okay.
Not wrapper. Okay.
But it's a number class.
Is it a variable?
It's a subclass
type,
of
right?
the number class. Recollect number class?
Yes.
It's a superclass for byte, short, integer, long, float,
Yes,
and double the wrapper classes. So under number only we have the big integer and big decimal.
Okay.
Okay. So has next for the numeric types, right? Has next and the next methods, right? I'll copy them again for another reason. Okay. We can, what we can also be doing is we could be saying has next, the same method has next, but here you can specify a string or a regular expression. Is the next token according to this pattern? So does it match this regular expression? The next token, does it match this? And you can give me the next, okay, only if it matches this pattern. So you can say, okay, if it matches the pattern, give it to me as a string. Okay. So you can check for numeric types, okay, or just like numeric types, or one more primitive we forgot was, okay, so we also have this method. This is for any kind of a pattern, but before this, let me put it here. Has next, which primitive is missing? Has next boolean. Okay. Then you can ask for boolean also, true, false. Right, so boolean also can be asked for, right? So you can be passing. In your CS, you might have a true false field also. Okay. And clear on this. So it's more about parsing. And okay, same thing. These two methods, instead of string, you may also use a pattern. Because pattern represents a regular expression. Basically. Pattern is a compiled form of a regular expression. Right? So these are the methods which we have in the scanner. It has more methods and not many other methods are also there. But the most commonly used thing should be from this. Okay, it's about fetching the next one. Scanner class. So here's the scanner class. And okay, not many constructors are there, but anyway. So you can see this. You could be the scanner could be taking input from a file also. Okay. Source could be a file, right? So anyway, that requires a class called file to be created. Okay. And same thing, character set as a string or character set as a cassette. There's a class called cassette also. So input stream is another option. Readable is nothing but there's a class called reader in the Java.i package which is implementing the readable interface. Okay. String as a source. Okay. These are other sources. But basically these are like input stream only. Path here is more like the file thing. Okay. So if it's a file, this is when it's saying path, it's a file, a path to a file basically. Okay. And methods. Look at the methods. Yes. Yeah. Okay, you can close, that's fine. Okay, we saw this delimiter to return a pattern object. Okay. Now find all, it requires a pattern but returns a stream of matches. Okay. So in the input all the tokens, fetch all the tokens which match this pattern. Right? Find inline. Oh, okay, I think in the category of next and has next thing, there's also another one called next line and has next line. We also have a method called has next line and next line. So it's not changing the delimiter but temporarily using new line as a delimiter. Okay. Find within horizon. Okay, using a pattern. Right? Has next. Yeah, this was the method we had. Has next using a pattern or a String as a regular expression, has next to integer. So this is all that has next and has next, right? So whenever it's a whole number, yes, a radix can always be specified. Okay, and so this is all that has next and so we know all this, right? Okay, if an IO exception, because you are using input stream or something, an IO exception may have occurred, then you can know what was the last IO exception which occurred here. Okay. Locate to return the local object. Match returns, it is basically each time you are fetching a token, it's using a regular expression for it. Even if I am saying next int or the has next int, there is a regular expression for the int type. Okay, fine. So it has actually done a match operation. So what was the match operation which it did and what did it match with? Okay, so for that a matcher object is returned. A match result object is basically given. So next method, yeah, not the category of next, right? So you can see this. Next according to a pattern, next according, all those next methods, right? Then it will be a whole number, or even if it's a big integer, a radix is acceptable. Okay. All those next methods. Radix method, right? For knowing what is the current radix value. Remove method, reset method. So when we say reset, what does it reset? We have done a use delimiter, we have done a use local, we have done a use radix. So these three settings will be reset to what is the default. Byte spaces, okay? Delimiters will become byte spaces if you say reset. Okay? And radix will be 10, change to 10, and your local will be changed to whatever is the default local from your system. Okay? So that's a reset. Skip.
It will not reset the has next. Has next?
No. Your pointer will remain where it is. Okay. Fine. Okay. Skip methods to skip a particular pattern. If the next pattern is this, then skip this. Okay. Tokens, yeah. That's a method to return a stream. Okay. You can create a stream out of it and do a stream processing. ToString, use delimiter, and use methods. Use local, use radix. When we say use delimiter, it could be a pattern object, string or a pattern. Okay? So regular expression either as a string or as a pattern object. So that's a method. Okay? So this is what is the scanner class. And the purpose is to fetch tokens. Input can be from various kinds of sources. It works on characters. Right?
Is there a method for cursor to be brought to post or not?
No. It's just whatever is in the size, that's one.
Or you can use,
Just moving forward.
or you can use for loop to get it to the end while has length is not equal to then that we can get it to the end or first.
Okay.
Only move
So
forward.
you're looking for a particular pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the pattern, not to get to the end of the string.
End of the
String.
string.
Yeah. End of the whatever scanner has taken as an input will go to the end or the first. Directly jump.
If scanner has taken some input, right? Okay. So okay, it has you have given it a string.
Yes.
Okay. So it has to process only this much. Nothing beyond this.
It directly jump to the end here.
And if it is a sentence,
Huh.
then directly go to the last part of the sentence. The cursor moves to the last.
You want to go to the last token?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing like going to the last token. We don't have any such thing. We'll have to put a while loop
Iterate, right?
and keep on saving the last. When it says I don't have anything, then whatever was the last it has given, that's your last one. It's only going to move forward. There's nothing. Okay. And you get it. You get as a stream also. Tokens. Just say tokens. You have a stream of string, and do the stream processing. Okay. The stream. We have seen the stream. Collect method. Anything, whatever you feel like. Okay. Okay. There you don't have a method to give the last element. And it has only got methods to give the first one if you want. And it has that find method and find first. Okay. And so scanner is okay. Let's move to the class called pattern. I think we may have to discuss more of it tomorrow only. But yeah. For a pattern, we need to be knowing a regular expression. But anyway, how to create a pattern, that I can cover. How do we create a pattern object? And so we have seen the methods, other methods. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think another important one boolean has next line. And so many times you may just be processing line by line. So while has next line and ask for the next line. Okay. And process one line by line. So that can be done.